All right, what is going on today, guys? And today we're going to go over exactly how I was able to lose 50 plus pounds of pure body fat in just 5 months using an actual proven data metric system. So this metric system was developed by me, for me, and my personal clients to break through weight loss plateaus, to know which direction to go when, and to also get the physique that we've always wanted. Right? So I've been exactly where you've been before. I have been in the position where I, was doing an immense amount of cardio. I was eating little amounts of food and I just couldn't lose any more weight. So this data metric system was developed by me because of that. And because of that, I developed it so we would never have to reach a dead end and we never have to reach a point where we didn't know which direction to go with our weight loss journey. Right? So today in the video, first of all, we're going to go over my personal coaching resources, basically all the resources I have combined that's going to give you the information. It's going to give my clients the information on how to implement the processes aligned with the metric system. And then we're going to go over actual results that my clients have used by using this exact metric system. Right? After that, we're going to go over the actual data metric that I've created, and I'm going to run you through exactly how I use it, how I implement it with my clients, and how it's able to every single time get sustainable results. Right? So at the end of this video, there's going to be a link in the description for you to fill out a consultation form. Go ahead and we're going to fill it out. Schedule a time that we can chat to more one-on-one, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. Right? So if you're somebody who is not dedicated to their fitness and health, and you are not a driven individual who is wanting to see a better version of themselves, go ahead and exit out of this video right now, because this video is not for you. This is for individuals who are driven, have discipline, and are incredibly driven to see a better version of themselves. This is how I put food on my table and feed myself. So it's in my best interest to keep all of my clients happy. And to keep all of my clients happy, I have to give them results. So if that's not you, go ahead and exit out of this video. We'll shake hands and we'll be friends. All right? So anyways, let's kind of get into the video. So first of all, this is my training platform. So this is Elevation Athletics. This is how I have structure with all my clients. How I'm able to give them all their plans, how I'm able to give them all their goals. I'm able to see exactly what they do on a daily basis. And I have a timeline on exactly how they do everything. Right? So, even like with new training phases, new personal best, and then new training phases I need to implement. So within the program, I'm going to go ahead and run you through like kind of what it looks like from a client's perspective, right? So with the program itself, we base the program off nutrition, training, and accountability, right? So we base the system off training, nutrition, and accountability. For training, I give all my clients their own personal exercise routine, their own personal workout routine that's going to be basically tailored to what they want to do in the gym and what muscle groups that they want to build in the gym. All of my training programs are built perfectly from scratch for my specific clients. So it's specifically tailored to you and to you only. I use proven exercise science to build these programs, so I know that we're never plateauing in the gym, we're never hitting, muscle growth barriers, and we base them on a 6-week mesosplit, which means every 6 weeks the training regimen splits up and they switches up, so we're always focusing on a new muscle group, and so we can consistently grow muscle at a very fast rate. So next, nutrition. For nutrition, if you guys have heard of MyFitnessPal, I actually pay for integration with MyFitnessPal, so I'm able to actually see what my clients eat on a day-to-day basis and give them advice on what we should take out, what we should put in, how we should hit what XYZ with our protein, carbs, and fats. And I'm able to be extremely hands-on and teach you how to track food, how to implement all the processes, how to eat the right foods, and what foods to stay away from, right? So next, accountability. So in my opinion, accountability is the most important part of my entire program, because accountability is everything, right? Working for someone and knowing that you have to do a certain goal for somebody, because at the end of the day, motivation is not there all the time. Motivation is not going to be there all the time. There's certain times of the day I don't want to do things. There's certain times of the day I don't want to go to the gym. There's certain times of the day I want to eat a little bit more than what I know I'm allocated to eat. But I know that my personal coach would be pissed if I was to do that, right? And at the end of the day, I do. I have a personal coach. I think that everybody should have a personal coach. One, perspective, right? You see yourself in the mirror a lot different than how I would see yourself in the mirror, or how I would perceive you, right? So getting rid of that confidence issue while looking in the mirror and say, hey, maybe I should eat a little bit less today, or maybe I should eat a little bit more. I'm a little bit more hungry. Maybe I'm okay to do so. Instead, having that a certain sense of accountability and have somebody plan it for you and tell you if you need it or not is super important when we're trying to stick to a plan, stick to a goal, and make good progress in a certain amount of time. So with that being said, let's kind of check out one of my personal clients. So this is all my personal clients' dashboard, right? So this is where I see all my clients from a coach's perspective. So let's go to Phil Archer here. So Phil is a guy who came to me and he just didn't know what to do, right? He was one of the guys who, he knew he looked like crap. He would try to diet for 2 to 3 months and then just end up giving up because he wasn't seeing results, right? So the thing is about results are motivation. Results are motivation to keep going, to double down, and to keep going at a consistent rate to achieve a certain goal and to achieve a certain physique. Right? So it's extremely important for me as a coach to give all my clients really good wins right off the bat, like body recomposition, seeing changes very quick, so I can get you motivated, I can get you going, and I can make sure that we are staying on track and that we are building motivation as we go, right? It's kind of like getting the ball rolling. Once the ball is rolling, the ball is cooking, right? So Phil, for example, came to me and he was eating, he's eating out every single day, eating pizza per day, eating a pizza per day and eating $1,200 per month. Eating out $1,200 per month. We need to redirect into a healthier diet with clear protein, carb, and fats, work him up to caloric maintenance while increasing his metabolism, right? So going back to October 16th when Phil started eating 2,600 calories, right? So over the course of time, we slowly raised his calories in the metabolic priming process, which I'm going to show you exactly how that works with the nutrition metric, all the way up until 3,600 calories, right? So keep in mind, he is eating 1,000 more calories right here than he was when he started. So the thing about the metabolic priming process is what it's meant to do is to increase your hormones, increase your body's burning ability of the food you're intaking, increase, hormonal levels like T3, T4, thyroid, and especially metabolism. So basically you're eating more food and your body's burning more food, right? So a lot of people come to me and they're in a position where they're at very low calories, they're doing an extensive amount of cardio, and their body is just kind of stuck, right? And you've probably been in that position before, because I definitely have, and it is freaking frustrating, right? So what we need to do in that situation, and why that is when you eat a low amount of calories, your body begins to adapt, right? It's called metabolic adaptation. Your body begins to adapt to the food that you're putting in it, and over time your metabolism begins to slow down until it absolutely stops. You've probably known somebody, or you've been in a position before where you know somebody who's cut a bunch of calories all at once, lost a bunch of weight in a month, think they found the cure to diet, and then as soon as they start eating a little bit, they gain it right back. Well, that is because when you slow your metabolism down by dieting extremely fast, you slow your metabolism down, and as soon as you eat a little bit more food, that weight skyrockets back up, and you never see sustainable results. That is a big reason why I've created this nutrition metric, so that will not happen, right? So Phil, for example, like we said, started at 2,600 calories, and now he's eating 3,600 calories. So let's check out his weight, right? And this is the interesting part. So as I said, when we started on September 25th at 280 pounds, we were eating 2,600 calories, right? So fast forward 4 months later, he is now eating 3,600 calories. He is weighing 248 pounds, and he's also eating more than ever, right? So that's exactly how my data metric works, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works here in a second. But when Phil logs into his dashboard, he not only sees what I have him as daily goals, as for a gallon of water, 10K steps, all the way down to rest day calories. So not a lot of coaches will tell you this, but you do need rest day calories because you're not burning as many calories than you're ingesting, right? So we lower the calories on our rest days, and so our body is not burning as much calories, so we don't need to intake as much, right? So along with this, in his daily goals, he will know exactly what he needs to do on a structured basis every single day. So as for that, I can see exactly what Phil eats on a day-to-day basis with his breakfast, with his lunch, with his dinner, with his snacks, and exactly how close he got to all his macronutrients. For example, when we are tracking calories, we try to stick to tracking just calories, protein, carbs, and fats. If you track calories, you will notice that you can, one, hit calories and be deficient in a certain protein, carb, or fat, right? That is because there are certain sugar alcohols and insoluble fibers in certain foods that don't necessarily count on the macronutrient food chain or the tree, macronutrient tree. So we count just protein, carbs, and fats because those extra calories from insoluble fibers and sugar alcohols, you just excrete out. So they're not even calories at all, right? So we focus on protein, carbs, and fats. So let's talk about protein, carbs, and fats and why it's important to implement each one. So protein obviously is the muscle building, synthesis, right? It helps you build muscle. Everybody knows that. So we have Phil on a relatively higher protein diet. Let's kind of break down why. So a higher protein diet is basically, they did studies. They took two subjects, one with, you've probably heard 1 pound per body weight, 1 pound of protein per body weight, or if you're overweight, do 0.8 or 0.6, right? Scientifically, they took two groups of people, one with a 1.2 to 1.4 pound per body weight of protein, and one with just a normal amount of protein. The group at the higher rate actually seen a higher decrease in body fat through thermogenesis on a higher protein diet. So we have all our clients on a higher protein diet so they can sustain muscle mass, so they can keep growing and lose body fat simultaneously. Next, we have the carbohydrates. So the carbohydrates are kind of our energy source for our workouts, for energy, and we utilize that for metabolism boosting purposes, right? So fat, we have around 90 grams of fat, and here's why fats are important, right? So not many people know this, but fats actually, what they do scientifically is they regulate hormonal levels. They regulate all your metabolism, your T3, your T4, all those hormonal levels as for like testosterone. Fat actually regulates that. So if you are severely under eating on fat, you can almost guarantee that your hormonal levels are declining. Or if you're severely overeating on fat, then you probably feel lethargic, tired, a lack of motivation, and that is because your hormonal levels are drowning, right? So I can see exactly what Phil eats on a day-to-day basis. I have certain goals for him to hit every single day, and I actually have the next 6 months for Phil planned out very strategically, right? So let's go to his goals and habits so you can see that, I can change his calories based upon his goals and based upon what part of the data nutrition metric we are on. And then we can go to his training program. So within Phil's training program right now, he is on his 4th mesosplit of the program, right? Which means when he logs into his app, he knows exactly what he has to do, how many sets he has to do, and if he has a question on a video, there's going to be a video on how to do the exercise, so we know that we're hitting the muscle group correctly and we're progressing at a good rate, right? So all in all, that's kind of how I base my program around how I give my clients structure, right? So I give them the plan to follow, right? So along with the plan to follow, I give them tools and resources, right? How to hit this plan, how to stay on this plan, and that's what we're going to cover next. So how to cover this plan, basically, in all my clients' personal app, Elevation Athletics, I have an apps and resources center. So we're going to go through everything in the apps and resources center accordingly. So with this, I have basically your orientation video for week one, orientation process for week 1 clients. I have our client check-in forum. I have a Google Docs, which is probably one of the most important aspects of the program. And then I have one-to-one call scheduling, which means any of my clients can schedule a call with me to talk more than one-on-one, and all my new clients are required for the first 4 weeks. And then lastly, we have our link from my public school community where we kind of all chat, just kind of shoot the shit and, get to know each other. And, this morning I put in, what a beautiful sunrise and just threw it in there and everybody loved it, right? So it's just kind of a way that we can kind of all get to talking a little bit more. Right, so let's go into the Google Drive though and see, because the Google Drive is one of the most important aspects of the program because it helps you implement the plan, right? So when you are giving, when you're seeing progress, right, along with the plan and nutrition metric, you want not only a plan, you want the structure, you want tools, and you want the community, right? So now you have the plan, you have the tools to utilize the plan, and within the community, you have the motivation to implement the tools and the plan. Right? And so that's why all my clients are seeing amazing progress, because we give them every aspect that they need for success, right? So going through some of the Google documents that we have, the first thing I have is my cookbooks, right? So I have cookbooks associated with my program. So right here is the Hack to Get Jack cookbook. It's going to have basically healthy recipes for all my clients to utilize. I teach lifestyle. I teach a good sustainable lifestyle balance between not only having a good life, but also having a healthy life. So these are very healthy recipes that I give all my clients that they can implement in their own personal lives so they can enjoy what they are eating. And even at the bottom, I have a certain, hidden gems in there, like protein chocolate chip cookies, protein chocolate PB cups, and breakfast frosty. So along with that, I have a high protein, low carb, and a vegan edition. So along with that, I have, and I know it says alcohol, we'll get to it in a second. So I have the keys everybody needs. So the keys everybody needs is my own personal ebook, one that I've created for my personal clients, and it has everything that I've ever learned about training nutrition all summed up into one big ebook. It's like 38 pages. I think it's like 45 pages long, right? So we can go over it real quick, like for training, progressive overload is key, RPE scale, proven progression plan, what is a macro, meal plan guide, guide to flexible dieting, food list, alcohol guide, my MyFitnessPal user guide, what do I do if I'm hungry after meals or late at night, I have a sweet tooth, I can't stop stress eating, how do I meal prep, carb sources, carbs after dark, protein sources, portion guide, how do I eat out and still get results, fat sources, how do I meal prep if I don't have time, flexible dieting, pre and post workout nutrition, and intermediate fasting, right? So for instance, I have food groups down here for all my personal clients. So we go down to basically carb sources, right? So eat more, eat some, eat less. So not only do you have your own structured macronutrient profile that I give you based upon your goals, now you have the food groups that you can choose from to implement them, right? So along with that, I have my alcohol guide. So like I said, I teach lifestyle, right? So to see sustainable results and to see sustainable results even after we're done working together, you need to have a good balance between both. You need to know how to do what and when. There's certain times of the week, there's certain times of the year I go out and drink. I'm an online coach, and if I want to go home, have a beer with my father, I do so, right? It is not a big deal as long as we allocate for it. So what this ebook does is teach you exactly how to structure your day before you go out for a night to drinking, so we don't take a step back the next day. So along with that, in our Google Drive, we have the Facebook group chat. We have the Elevation Athletic Nutrition Metric, which this is the most important tool in the whole program. This is why I'm able to change so many lives. This is why I'm giving men, their confidence back. I'm giving them the lives they've always wanted and to be the person they've always wanted to be, right? So I have basically a video on the nutrition metric and an explanation on the nutrition metric, which we're going to watch here in a second. So I have the orientation video and the big group in here, how-to tutorials. So I have the client check-in tutorial. I have the flexible dieting explained, food scale tutorial, how to integrate my MyFitnessPal tutorial in depth, pre and post workout nutrition, what should you do if you're hungry after meals, what should I eat, protein, carbs, and fats, right? So I have meal plans associated with the program as well. So I have many meal plans associated with the program, basically meals that you can follow. I give these as kind of a stencil for my clients so they can go in, they can kind of basically see what they should be eating. I teach people how to track macros though. Tracking macros is one of the most important, beneficial, strategies to learn in your everyday life to see sustainability and to have a good lifestyle and have a good balance between both, right? Because if you're eating the same thing every single day, obviously, you are going to want to eat that extra piece of pizza, or you're going to want to eat that donut, right? You can have those things within your meal plan, and to do so, I have an actual video on flexible dieting explaining exactly how you don't have to sacrifice certain food groups to hit your goals and to see progress. So along with that, I have our weekly mindset chats. So our weekly mindset chats, I give every week into our group. Oh, we got a new group here. So in our weekly mindset chat, one, I go over basically mind and motivation, discipline, stuff that is going to apply to seeing a better version of yourself. Self-development is one of the biggest parts of our program in general. Self-development and seeing a higher version of yourself, being the person you've always wanted to be, being the man you've always wanted to be. And I implement that every single Monday for every single one of my clients. Like this week in the Elevated Mindset Chat, we did discipline over motivation, right? And even I have all the weekly mindset chats from the past 20 weeks all in your Google Drive. So you can go over how adversity quotient, how to weather losing seasons of life, what is self-mastery, victor versus victim mentality, lack of motivation, time management, how important is your environment, right? So that is basically all of the resources within the program itself, all of my personal coaching resources that I give to all my clients so they can adhere to the plan, they can learn, and I can leave them better than I found them even after we're done working together, right? So next, we are going to go over some actual client success stories, right? So clients that have been through the program, that are currently in the program, that I have used the nutrition metric with, and have used all my coaching client resources to successfully make the transformation of their lives, right? So let's go ahead and go back to Phil. So we talked about Phil earlier and how he was able to successfully lose almost 40 pounds of fat by eating more food, right? Which just sounds absolutely clinically insane, right? I'm eating more food and I'm losing weight. That's typically what all my clients, are saying, right? And there's a reason why that. We give structure, right? We give your body what it needs to burn fat and to build muscle, therefore getting insane results. And for instance, check out Phil's progress photos. So Phil came to me about 280 pounds, right? Looking kind of like this, right? So he was eating 2,600 calories, right? And we started to increase his food over the course of time, giving him a successor training program, giving his body the nutrition it needs to correct hormonal levels, and give his body enough exercise to burn fat, right? So this is what Phil looks like today. So thing about with Phil is that we have not even started cutting calories, right? So how the metabolic priming process works is we slowly raise our clients' calories, getting those calories higher so we can set ourselves up for a successful fat loss phase. So not only in the metabolic priming phase, you get a good body weight composition by building muscle and burning body fat, but as soon as you do go into a fat loss phase, we can successfully lower the calories, add a little bit of cardio, and Phil here is due for another 40 pounds of weight loss. So let's go to another one of my clients. We can go to Steven here. Steven's a really good client of mine, came to me about 5-6 months ago, and he was in the exact same position, right? So I can see exactly what Steven's eating for the day. So seeing he ate a little bit more fats, I'm going to text him later and kind of get onto him. But with Steven actually went through the metabolic priming phase, and we actually put him into a growing phase, right? So when we do go over the metric, you'll be able to see exactly how I'm able to implement which direction my clients want to go into their own personal plans, and any obstruction of fat loss or muscle growth around their way, it's going to explain exactly how we're going to get there, right? So Steven, for example, came to me and he was under eating on protein, and we realized that he wasn't getting enough food for his body to actually grow and to actually fill out, right? So this is what Steven looks like when he came to me. So this is what Steven looks like today. Much bigger, much leaner, much tighter, right? So a lot of people think that, to get leaner, you just need to eat less food, right? So to actually be lean and to be shredded, you actually need a good distribution of muscle mass to body fat, right? So take bodybuilders in their off season, for example. They have visible abs. Well, let's break down why. So these bodybuilders actually have enough muscle mass that's pushed against their skin, makes their muscles look tighter, makes them look leaner, and gaining good muscle will basically have your muscles push against your skin a little bit more, kind of like a balloon. So let's take a balloon, for example, as another metaphor. You put that balloon under your shirt and you deflate it, right? Obviously, now you're not seeing any of the balloon. The balloon is completely flat, and you can't even see it, right? As opposed to filling that balloon up with helium, metaphorically speaking, as glycogen within the muscles from nutrition. Now you can see that balloon is pushing against that skin a little bit more. It's very clear that balloon is there, and there's not enough in between for you to actually see any body fat, right? So that's how body fat distribution works, and that's why we grow our clients, we get them leaner, and we grow them into their bodies, right? So he is still in a muscle growing phase. So we have not even gone in to an actual structured fat loss phase with Steven. So Steven came to me, and he was eating. We can kind of see what he was eating. So he was eating about So he was eating about 2,000 calories when he first came to me, right? Here's his full day of eating right here. Here's his metrics. We have his BMR, which is his maintenance, and he's eating about 2,000 calories. So over the course of time, we slowly raised his calories, and now he's at 2,560, right? So we can even take a look on exactly how his weight gain journey went, exactly the process that we were able to implement within the body weight section, because that's how I track all my clients' personal progress. So we can see that he started at 149, and today he was 163, right? So about 14 pounds of pure muscle mass. Keep in mind, he is leaner now. He is tighter. So this is pure 14 pounds of muscle mass, right? So along with that, we are able to successfully implement an actual proven nutrition metric, right? Which is the most important aspect of the program. So before we get into the actual nutrition metric, which is basically why my program is so successful and why my clients are seeing so many results, if you have made it this far, this is your second chance to click out of the video, unsubscribe from my channel, shake hands and be friends still. It's perfectly fine. But this program is for individuals who are serious about this, because this is not easy. This is not an easy process, and this is not made to be easy. This is made to challenge yourself, to bring yourself to the next level, to achieve higher levels of success within self-development, and it's not for people that, want a quick fix. Right? So with that being said, I like in the beginning of the video, I'll work with action takers, right? So to define what an action taker really is, you have to define what the opposite of an action taker is. So opposite of action taker is someone who's under the influence of what's called paralysis of analysis. Paralysis of analysis is somebody who overanalyzes a situation, maybe thinks they can do it themselves, or overanalyzes it to a point where they think it's so difficult that they just drown it out in general. They never make a true change, right? Those people who overanalyze situations and never actually ask for help, or overanalyze it to the point where they're actually crippling themselves, never make a true change. This program is for people who are ready to make a change, who are serious about making a change, who are disciplined, and who are well motivated, because we will give you success. We will give you the resources for success. We will give you the plan. We will give you the structure. We will give you all the information you need, and we'll even implement a community of like-minded people to get you there. You have all the information for success. All you need to do is show up and then implement yourself. So let's kind of get into the nutrition metric itself. All right, what's going on today, guys? So today we are going to go over the Elevation Athletics Transformation Nutrition metric that I have created for all you clients. I'm going to go over the step-by-step process of how I utilize the nutrition metric and why it's important that we follow the nutrition metric also, right? So as a new client, you're getting into the program, we started to collect data. We're starting to collect photos, your weigh-ins, your caloric output, your caloric intake, what you're eating, the goals that you have set in place, your activity level and your lifestyle as opposed to what you do for a living, your activity level day to day, how many steps you're taking per day, and then we do the data calculations, right? Which is determining BMR, we're determining your macronutrient profile, which means we're determining what your body needs to hit that certain goal, and then we're determining activity level. We're determining, setting daily goals and setting daily strategies to hit those certain goals so we can make progressive progress, right? So then after that, we go into the client start date. So on this client start date, the first date is the day of the program. You're be giving a implementation with all the data that we have collected, right? So we're either going to be doing a caloric deficit, which means that we're going to be starting you at a little bit lower than what your calories that you have been eating previously, or we're going to do a caloric structure swap, which means we're giving you the exact same amount of calories that you've already been eating, but we are now going to be giving you a structured caloric amount around that, which means we're going to give you protein, we're going to give you carbs, we're going to give you fats, so you have structure around your macronutrient profile. And the last thing would be a caloric surplus. So a client who has been eating a very little amount for a very long time, we're giving them a little bit more calories to adhere to the metabolic priming process, right? So after we implement the data that we have collected into your program, we start day one, we go straight into metabolic priming process, right? So with the metabolic priming process, what it's meant to do is give you a body recomposition and prime your hormones. Prime your hormones as for T3, T4, thyroid, metabolism, testosterone, estrogen, all of those collectively combined is going to give you that metabolic priming process and be able to give me access to your metabolism and be able to manipulate your metabolism properly, right? So within the metabolic priming process, one, we prime your metabolism for either a growing phase, which means we put on a little bit of muscle, or we prime your metabolism for a fat loss phase. So in the metabolic priming process, we give you the structure, and we help work your calories up slightly over a period of time, so it can increase your metabolism, increase your metabolic process, and increase the calories. So we have a higher caloric value when we go into a growing phase of the fat loss phase. So the metabolic priming phase is one of the greatest phases, and one of the great things about the program in general with the nutrition metric and with my data calculations, because it will give you a body recomposition. It will help you burn fat, and it will also help you build muscle, right? Because now that you're getting, one, the correct caloric amount with structure around it, now you are also getting, typically if you're not getting enough protein, you're getting enough protein now, you're getting enough fats to stabilize your metabolism and hormonal levels. And so you'll begin to build muscle and lose body fat accordingly, right? So, let's say that you're going into a fat loss phase. Your goal is to lose a considerable amount of fat, right? And, we start you off at a caloric deficit so you can get a good body recomposition, and I can gain back control of your metabolism. So as we start to raise your calories in the metabolic priming process, we're going to not only work on burning body fat, but also building good muscle. We're also going to be working on increasing your calories, so when we do go in the fat loss phase, we can start decreasing those calories. So the metabolic priming process is one of the most specific processes, important processes when it comes to going to a fat loss phase or a growing phase, right? And that is because if we are going to a fat loss phase and you've only been eating 2,200 calories, we would then have to go to 21, 22, 23, or 1,900, 1,800. Instead, we utilize the metabolic priming process by fixing your metabolism, fixing your hormones, priming your hormones, and giving you a good body recomposition. So we raise your calories, increase your body's natural production of hormones, and basically raise the bar, so then we can start decreasing the calories. So in the metabolic priming process, one, we focus on, hitting calories consistently and doing basically no cardio, right? So now that your body's doing no cardio and you're getting a consistent amount of calories, now when we go into the fat loss phase, you're not only a higher amount of caloric value so we can start decreasing calories, but you've also been doing no cardio, so your body's used to doing no cardio. So we can add just a little bit of cardio and we can create even bigger of a deficit, right? So the biggest thing about the metabolic priming phase and the coaching, and honestly the coaching, actions, and decision department with the entirety of the program, is accountability and consistency. I can only gain control of your metabolism if you're consistent 5 to 6 days out of the week. I cannot change your calories based on inconsistent variables, because inconsistent variables will not allow me to change your calories and control your metabolism, right? So the entirety of the program in general is based upon your accountability and consistency within the coaching, actions, and decisions department. If you fall a little bit short on your calories the week before, I won't be able to raise your calories because you've already been eating under your calories, which then would create a bigger surplus of calories if I was to increase them. If you're overeating in the metabolic priming phase through the week, and my goal is to raise your food, increase your metabolism, and increase your hormonal priming, those calories will already be increased because of your overeating, which this then means when I do raise it, nothing will really happen, right? So I cannot stress enough for all of you clients how important it is in the metabolic priming phase, in the fat loss phase, and in the growing phase for accountability and consistency, right? Because that will allow me to gain control of your metabolism and manipulate your macronutrient profile to either gain weight, gain muscle, or lose body fat, right? So let's say that, we're going to the fat loss phase. So we went to the metabolic priming phase, we raised your calories while doing little to no cardio, raise your body's production of not only burning more calories, but raised your body's production of thyroid, of T3, and all of the components that allow you to increase your metabolism, right? So now we go into the fat loss phase. So that means we start adding a little bit of cardio and we start lowering the calories a little bit, right? So in the fat loss phase, we lower or add calories if our weight freezes, right? If we lower and add calories and it works and your body weight starts to go down, then we go right back into the fat loss phase, right? Weight freezes, lower calories, add activity, fat loss phase. Weight freezes, lower calories, add activity, fat loss phase. If by chance our weight freezes, and this would only happen, typically if we get onto pretty low calories, one, we would lower calories, add activity, and we wouldn't see a change. Your weight would become stagnant. Well, that is a telltale sign for me that your body needs a little bit of a structured refeed, right? So what a structured refeed is scientifically proven and made to do is to slightly increase your metabolism very shortly, and so that you can break through a new plateau, right? So basically we give your body a good refeed, a good amount of calories to spike insulin levels, to spike metabolism, and now your body's like, oh, I got more food. And so for the next few days after your structured refeed, your metabolism will be higher than normal, right? So if your weight becomes stagnant, we do a structured refeed and it works typically, if it works properly, your body will start to burn more calories through a 3-day period when we go back into our structured calories after the structured refeed. And we can continue to burn more calories, giving you a new low, right? So the structured refeed works. We go right back into the fat loss phase. We add in lower calories until our weight freezes. And if the weight is stagnant, we do another structured refeed. If by chance we do a structured refeed, we're at very low calories and our caloric amount is extremely in the extremely lower range where we cannot lower them anymore, we can't be doing any more cardio, that and your weight does not change, that is a telltale sign for me that your metabolisms have fully decreased over time, right? Which means that your body has metabolically adapted to the lower increase of food, and so now it is no longer producing metabolism T3, T4, and thyroid gland for your metabolism. That would be a telltale sign that we go back into the metabolic priming phase, right? Where we work on hormonal body priming and body recomposition. We raise your calories by, keeping your weight relatively the same, but giving you more calories, increasing your metabolism. And the great thing about the metabolic priming phase is a lot of people lose a lot of weight during the metabolic priming phase because we're increasing your body's production of metabolism, increasing your body's ability to burn more food by eating more food. So, not only do we go back into the structured metabolic priming phase and start raising your caloric amount like we did in the past, we keep your body weight relatively where it was when we did see a weight stagnant, and we got very low calories, but now we start increasing them again all over again. And then we go back into the fat loss phase. So that is how we break through plateaus and we break through fat loss plateaus, right? And doing this process consistently and over the course of time will not only help you consistently keep the weight off, keep the fat off, but it'll also, give us very good body recompositions, lower weight every single time, and every time we go back into the fat loss phase, you'll be able to be leaner, you'll be able to be stronger, and you'll be able to lose more weight, right? So let's say that, you got a structured refeed, didn't work, go to metabolic priming phase, and you loved it, you love your physique, you're exactly where you want to be, right? So, you lost all the fat, you're pretty lean, you love the way you're looking, so what we do, we go back to the metabolic priming phase, and we slowly raise your calories to a point where it's easy for you to, you're not hungry, right? You're basically comfortable. You're eating enough food. You know by now how to track food, how to stay consistent. And now we have finally reached your goal physique, right? So when you reach your goal physique, that will be basically the end of the client, your end date for the clients, right? Sustainability, now you have better health. You have sustainable results. You have nutritional knowledge as what not to eat, how to track macros, what macros and what food groups are better to eat than others. And that is when the results start to come with the confidence, your dating life, longevity. As for health, you now know how to discipline yourself through structure and making sure that you're staying on plan. And now you look good, you feel good. And then, that's where the life after funnel comes. You have the results, you have the consistency, you know how to stay sustainable now, and now client testimonial, amazing experience with Elevation Athletics and Adam, at the coach Adam, and that's the entirety of the program, right? So as opposed to the metabolic priming phase going to the growing phase, it would be typically when we do the metabolic priming phase into a growing phase, we get your calories right where scientifically your maintenance calories should be, right? When we prime your metabolism for that, and we get to your calories where especially, you're scientifically proven to be, based upon your body weight, your age, your height, your BMR, then we go into a growing phase. And the growing phase is relatively exactly the same as the fat loss phase. It all is very tied into accountability and consistency. But in the growing phase, we slowly add calories, or we add cheat meals through the week until we see a weight freeze, right? So same thing as the fat loss phase. With the growing phase, we see a weight freeze, we add calories or cheat meals. Back in the growing phase, weight freeze, add calories, cheat meals. Growing phase, weight freeze, add calories, cheat meals. Weight stagnant, then we do a mini cut reset of the metabolism, right? Which means that we drop the calories extremely fast. We drop your body's metabolism by eating a lot, like very low amounts of food for 4 to 6 weeks, gives you a good body recomposition, resets your metabolism, and then we go back into the metabolic priming phase and back into the growing phase, right? So the mini cuts are what they're designed to do is actually reset your metabolism, right? So once you do go back into a growing phase, your metabolism is now lower, so you're able to add more weight with more food, increase weight and increase muscle mass, right? And then obviously, with the growing phase, you go back into the metabolic priming phase, and if you wanted to go into a fat loss phase out of a growing phase, you can do so. And there you go. Goal physique, client end date, sustainability, results, life after funnel, client testimonial. So that is an in-depth tutorial of exactly the nutrition metric that I have made for all my clients. There's nobody out there doing this. There is nobody out there in the coaching world doing what we're doing with the transformation nutrition metric, right? Nobody has a metric like this, and that's why all of you are seeing great results. But I cannot say enough. The results only come from accountability and consistency within the coaching actions and decisions department, right? So at the end of the day, the progress is up to you. This is a scientifically proven metric, but the progress is up to you based upon your accountability and consistency within the program and how consistent you can be week to week to see not only faster results, but more sustainable results over time. Because like I said, I cannot change calories. We cannot move from metric to metric with inconsistent variables. All right. Anyways, that's a full in-depth tutorial about the transformation nutrition metric, how I use it, how I came up with it. And if you guys have any questions or want to watch this video over again, I'm going to put this in the Google Drive and save it for you guys. All right. All right. So if you are in the position that you are stuck in a weight loss plateau, you're just unhappy with the way you look. You're trying to cut calories, but you're just looking incredibly more skinny fat, and you have terrible energy, your relationship with food is getting terrible, and at the end of the day, you still hate the way you look. I've been there. I have been in your shoes, and I have been in your positions. I know exactly how it feels. You don't have to eat zero to low food to have good results. You don't have to hate the way you look. So how would it make you feel if I was able to successfully help you break past a weight loss plateau, gain your confidence back in yourself and the way you walk, and give you the better life that you've always wanted? So if that sounds like you, this is your chance to apply down below with the Calendly link. Book a call with me. We'll jump on a call. We'll see if we're a good fit to work together. And if we are, then we'll go ahead and get onboarded the program. Anyways, that's the end of the video, and that is basically my nutrition metric, how my clients are able to achieve incredible results through my personal metric, and how I was able to successfully lose 50 pounds of body fat in just 5 months.